Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. This is your read for Wednesday of, I almost said February, January 16th. I've been doing so many things for the Chinese New Year, which begins February 5th, and I have February on my brain. And it's so funny, I laugh at, there's so many readers just like me where we just don't understand dates and times. Like, I don't, calendars, all those things, date books, just forget it. It's like, however, in the last year, I've had to have everything written down on paper, where I used to refer to things on my computers, iPads or anything like that. That bothers me to read off the screen. I have to do so much screen work when it comes to emails and certain things that I actually love the written word on paper. So it's like, yeah. So let's see what's going on for your blessing for forgiveness. And that is going to be today's blessing for you. I think I might do these for the dailies. I just find them so beautiful, and the wording is lovely and gentle, and I just feel like they're like kind little hugs and really lovely and helpful. So let's see where the page number is for that. Forgiveness. So I want you guys to comment if you've given any thought to number 31. If you've given any thought to Valentine's Day. That just popped in my head the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, why am I thinking about Valentine's Day? I feel like it's already so close. And part of that is I've been getting so many emails and people that are like, this is happening and my boyfriend's freaking out and this person's freaking out and this is going on. And what's happening is I think that so much pressure gets placed on that day for no particular reason. And then all this importance is placed on that, and something big has to happen and some gesture has to occur. And what happens is people implode, like the male aspect all over the globe just implodes because they don't want to let their significant other down. They don't know what their expectations are. And expectations are so big and huge. I almost just wish it was like every other day, because it just turns into this freaking insane combustible potentially nightmarish day, right? Where people are like, oh, so really women and men, who's ever out there, let me tell you, just don't set any expectations. Whatever comes your way, just see it as a lovely blessing and be thankful for it. Some people don't have the time nor the inclination to figure out your every want and need, and they're just trying to receive love and give love in their own way. So again, don't set crazy unrealistic expectations like hot air balloon rides to Paris and whatnot. I don't even think that's possible unless you're already in France, but okay, so this is a blessing to be able to free from the burden of grudges and vengeance, a prayer to help you open up to the blessings that is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a tricky beast, and yes, for all it is a gentle word, it is a great beast, forgiveness. For when we seek to forgive, we must wrestle with the wrongdoing that lies at the heart of our resistance to let go of the pain we're holding on to. When we need to forgive, it is often that we are too raw, too far away from justice to be able to even touch the sides of the bomb of forgiveness. Yet staying angry for long periods of time can develop into a compacted bitterness, and bitterness is a gall to all who wish to live freely. Yeah, I've noticed when that's what sits the least well with me is anger or frustration with a person that I don't release, because it plays on over my head and takes up that rent in my head, which I need for positivity and creativity and all those things, right? But I tell you, holding a grudge and not forgiveness, it really does, and it starts to take up one room, then 2 rooms, and 3 rooms, and it accumulates. So we really want to release that for sure. So also may the blessings of self-forgiveness be bestowed upon you, dear friend. Know you will gently untangle the doubt and recriminations that have settled like thorns in your heart and invaded your mind space. As you begin to forgive yourself, you will also be able to find forgiveness for other injustices that you've endured. Yeah, most of all, delivered, the pure medicine of forgiveness should go to yourself. That's really beautiful. And yeah, there's no greater gift that you can really give yourself than that. It's so freeing. And when you realize too, if the person, place, or thing that caused you this anger in the first place is no longer really even in your realm or your scope, your daily scope of things, why contaminate your thoughts and other things with those lesser vibrations, right? Okay, so let's see what is going on in terms of your gorgeous energy for today. Let me grab the cards. I love these. I got, let's see, we have Messenger of Water, the Hanged Man, these are not easy to shuffle. Wow, and the Star. And these are regular. These are the good tarot. I love these, and I will explain how they are the same as tarot, but they are simply leading with the good tarot. It's Colette Baron Reed. So basically, oh, well, we have 2 major arcana, but water is cups, wands is fire. So she uses the elemental versions of them, but the writing is so beautiful, and it's a perfect balance of what I feel sometimes and want to express. I will later read in one of her books. That's why I started collecting not only the artwork from her artist, who is out of this world. I mean, her artist, and she uses the same artist all the time, and she is phenomenal. But yeah, her name is Jenna Della Grattaglia. She is this lovely Italian artist, and she's out of this world. So let's see what these are. But the writing is so beautiful, and it's so profound, and I always feel like it really touches that place in our intellect and our spirituality that's like, oh yeah, those just incomparable aha moments that are rarely reached unless we're reading like some philosophy and stuff like that. But it's like spiritual philosophy, and it's just so beautiful. So let's see what her Star card has. And it's funny, I haven't had this card yet, but after I read it once, it's like ingrained in my mind. I rarely have to read one of Colette's passages where I don't have it memorized, because in my line of work, I find out if I read something a certain way, if I read it like I'm going to turn around and teach it in the next 5 minutes, I can memorize. And it also just strikes such a balance with how I feel that it's like I feel like it's something I would possibly write in that instance. But yeah, remarkable. So the Star is about inspiration. You're hopeful and inspired by your life right now. So everything that's happening to you points to a renewed sense of encouragement. After all the changes you've experienced, you're starting to recognize the hope that comes with new beginnings. And this is great because right around the corner we have the new Chinese New Year, February 5th, and it's going to be the year of the pig. And this is really, really cool because I feel like everybody loves the idea of a renewal, a new beginning, a new page. And we get that every day when we wake up. So that's quite remarkable as well, right? Think about it. We get to have a mini rest. We get to recuperate. We get to wake up and decide how that day is going to go, how we're going to treat others, how we're going to treat ourselves, what we're going to create, what we're going to accept, what we're going to deny, what romantic leanings we're going to want, what we're going to delight in, new versions of yourself. It's very, very beautiful. And the Star card is very representative of that. So that's lovely. Yeah, when we realize that things can happen really fast and on a dime, and we can decide to transform it positively if we want, right? A lot of times, like when something really disastrous in other people's eyes happen, that's when we can see it for opportunities to discover who we really are, or what we're like. Like, you know, when you see in films and stuff, you have a big group of people, and then when disaster strikes, you really see who's made of what and what kind of characters they have. It's that type of thing. Ask yourself that. What type of person would I be if, say, there was a huge tragedy and the world was in jeopardy, and you know, you had to take certain risks to make a large group of people safe? Like, what kind of person would you be? You know what I mean? That sort of question for inspiration, and saying, you know, yeah, I have the capabilities to step up when it's necessary and do the right thing and help people. So the Hangman, let's see what that's about. That's all about surrender. So like sacrifice and surrender are really necessary at times So nothing in life is free, right? Nor does everything happen according to our timetables. When the card appears, we're reminded that a delay is in your best interest, that until all the elements are in place, you're meant to surrender to the greater will for the highest good of all. So it's time for you to let go of any attachment of how you thought things had to be. You're called on to surrender and wait to see how things will play out, right? We don't have to micromanage or figure it all out or know the big picture. Again, that's why I talk about working in 24-hour increments, because we save ourselves a lot of grief because we don't have to say, okay, well, tomorrow has to be like this, the next day I have to be like that, I have to accomplish this by the fourth day. When we're too far in the future and how we're going to progress, we're not alive and cognizant of what is going on in the actual presence, which is where we really get to experience life, right? A child's cute smile at us, our animal looking for affection, a wonderful meal, how things taste. If we're too busy either trying to rectify a past gone wrong or going in the future and trying to micromanage that, we're definitely not present. So the Hangman is all about that, just stopping, taking a halt to all this forward locomotion and really being aware of what's going on around you and pinpointing what needs to be done now. And in this headspace, that's why when people ask, Melanie, can you please answer me this, do this, go there, would you like to do that, would you like this, offers, no matter what's going on, I always take a step back and I say, I'll get back to you. And the reason I do that is because I can then formulate a well thought out plan. And I'm not saying yes to things I'd like to say no to. I'm not saying no to things that I might possibly want to do. I'm simply suspending any of my confirmations because I am trying to figure stuff out, and that's what you're going to do too. Nobody has to say yes, so you can respectfully decline for the moment and or say I'll get back to you on that, right? We don't have to jump at anybody else's will ever. This is about having our own will and realizing that time is very, very malleable and available to us when we allow it to be, when we're not trying to project so far in the future that we're not taking care of details of right now. Time is very elastic and very flexible. When we say we have all the time in the world, we really do, because we create that space for ourselves to work in those parameters, which is lovely. And it's super important to be able to do that, because if we try to push or force, guess what? Time gets moved back. That's why when I'm talking about love matches and things like that, it's super, super important for people to know that, is there a number on this other one? If we decide that we're going to have plenty of time to do something, guess what? It usually works out that way. As soon as we tell ourselves, oh, I have to hurry, I have to do this, we start to condense things, and then we hurry things, and then that's not good. So let me see if I can find this message of water. The book is done a little different. It's so funny. I was so hoping to be able to finish some things and have a little time to chill out, and then I just heard car doors slam, and I'm like, oh great, 0 time alone. I get very, like, everybody knows when you have a family, you just hope for it, right? And then you're like, oh, well, that's all right. There'll be time. Messenger of water is romantic attractions, chivalry, admiration, seeing the best in others, your heightened emotional awareness, a call to fall in love with yourself. You need to look for the best in others and honor it even when it seems like it's a challenge to do so. Your attractions stem from self-love and knowledge that you are part of all love, which takes many forms, each exquisite in its own way, and you can have whatever you desire. So that's you guys. Wonderful. I love that energy for today. So if you're new to the channel, welcome, and don't forget to press like and subscribe. All my links are down below if you want a private read or anything else that's down there. My Etsy store, any conceivable thing you can imagine is down there. Love and light.